Hey guys, Tina here and welcome to my first quarterly book haul. So I decided that this year I want to buy less books and I definitely do not want to film book hauls every month. So I decided to do it quarterly because in that amount of time I do get a certain amount of books. That's probably unavoidable, let's face it. I have no self-control, and right now with the coronavirus, there's so many books that are getting, you get so many offers really cheap or cheaper, and I'm just struggling not to buy more books than I already have. So, fingers crossed, and not just because of my book buying, but fingers crossed this virus passes quickly because we're getting fed up with it, aren't we? So, yeah, let's get to the books because that's right now more important than anything else. And the first two books that I bought this year were bought with a gift card because I got it for New Year's, and I decided to go to a bookstore and get something. And I saw these, and I've never seen covers like these, but that's not the reason I got them. I just heard good things about these books, and despite that, I'm fairly clueless about them, what they're about. So yeah, I'm talking about Trail of Lightning by Rebecca Roanhorse, and also the follow-up Storm of Locusts. And as I said, I've never seen covers like these for these two books. But yeah, anyways, so I think these are sort of like Native American mythology books, and I've heard really good things about them. I'm clueless to what they're about actually, but people seem to like them. Not all of them, because that would be weird. I just hope that I fall into the category in which I do like them. As I said, I'm not going to go into synopsis because I would do it, a disservice because I have no clue what they're about, honestly. But yeah, that's how it is with most of these books because, as I said in one of my videos, I, watch videos. I see people talk about certain books and I find them interesting, and then I go and check them out and I buy them usually, and then the next instant I forget what they're about. So honestly, even if I knew, I couldn't tell you right now what they're about. So yeah, then I got Amber Loeb by Lara Ellen Donnelly. I heard Sam from Thoughts on Tomes talk about this one, and it's supposed to be, I think, fantasy but in the 20s. And it sounded really good when she talked about it. So hopefully I will enjoy it. I will probably listen to it on Script. I think they have it there, or at least they did. And if I like it enough, I'm going to continue on with the series. I think it's a trilogy. So yeah, I really like this cover though. It's beautiful. So yeah, beautiful covers, always a problem. So yeah, next I have another book that's book one in the series. And actually by now, when I'm filming this, probably all of the books are out, or at least the majority of them. And I'm talking about A Queen in Hiding by Sarah Kozlov. So this is a young adult series, and it follows this girl who was supposed to be queen, but her mother was overthrown, and now she has to fight for her throne, basically. And I started this series. I started reading the book, anyways. Not yeah, and it really threw me off because at the beginning of this book, nothing has happened yet. So her mother is still ruling, and she has not been overthrown yet. And it sort of pulled me out of the story because that's not where I thought the story was gonna, start off actually. Because I thought that we're gonna already, see the girl in hiding and follow her as she struggles to get back to her throne. But she's still at the court, nothing has happened yet. So it threw me off a bit. So I will get back to it. I started reading it back in January when it came out, and I got like a quarter through it, and I will continue on with it. But that really threw me off. So I will have to push through that and just not think about it too much and hopefully enjoy it. So yeah, so I can continue on with the series because, oh, look at the covers. They're so pretty. And I think like each month a book came out, so by now they're probably all out or about to be anyways. Next I have Age of Death by Michael J. Sullivan. So this is book 5 in his Legends of the First Empire series, and I love this series so much. I always read the books as they come out, but I haven't read this one yet because I'm waiting for the last one to come out, and then I will re-listen to the one before this one, and I'm just gonna go binge them then. And yeah, so these books take place in the same world as Michael J. Sullivan's Rhaenyra Revelations, but 1,000 or so years before those books. And we follow the same world, but different characters. So basically the myths and Legends in Rhaenyra Revelations are actually the characters in these books. So some things you already know from those books, but not really, because through the years stories get turned on their heads, and what you think happened didn't really happen. So things like that. And actually in this book we follow quite a lot of characters. Humans are basically struggling or fighting the Fae because they want to be free and all that. And we have such a good cast of characters. I really enjoy them all. Especially the women are fantastic in these books. So I'm really looking forward to actually picking this one up. But as I said, I'm waiting for the last one to come out, and it's coming out in May. So I'll be probably reading these books then or in June. So yeah, but I'm really looking forward to seeing how the story concludes. Next, I have a trilogy that I already read and loved, and I talked about them most of these in my March wrap-up, and I'm talking about the Arc of the Scythe trilogy by Neil Shusterman. So we have Scythe, Thunderhead, and the Toll, and well, no, we don't. Now we have Scythe, Thunderhead, and the Toll, and these books follow a world in which there's no problems. There's very little crime. There's no death because everybody's healthy and you can get rejuvenated and be younger than your daughter, things like that. And in order to keep the population at a certain number, we also have scythes who are there to basically kill people or glean them, as they call it. And in book one, we get to meet these two kids, a girl and a boy, and they're chosen to be an apprentices to a scythe. And from there on, we follow their story. So I really enjoyed this series. It's great. There's quite a bit of humor in it as well, given that we're talking about death all the time. That comes in handy. I loved the main characters. We see how they struggle with being chosen as apprentices, and then they struggle with what that actually is, being a scythe, and how they're also impacted by who their mentors are, because those change throughout the book, at least especially the first one. And then there's also, as in any institution that is run by humans, there's corruption even inside them. So there's fractions that want to take power and things like that. And it's such a human trilogy, I guess. And I really enjoy them, and I can definitely see why there's so much hype surrounding these books. And yeah, I totally do recommend them if you want to go check them out. Maybe not right now with coronavirus and that, it's not necessarily the best time, but if you want to, why not? Then I have another book that's really gorgeous, and I just love the cover, and that is Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare. And this is one of my favorite covers from her. And in this book, we go back to Edwardian times. We follow the children of the characters in the Infernal Devices, and there's quite a lot of characters in these books, in this one book. And basically we follow them as well, things are happening that are not supposed to happen. And demons are out in daylight, and that's not supposed to happen. Their shadow hunters are getting killed, and that's also not supposed to happen. And these young characters are trying to figure out what's going on, and how their backgrounds are actually connected to some of the things that are happening. And there's a lot of angst and a bit of romance, because when has there not been romance in Cassandra Clare books? There's maybe love triangles, not as such, but yeah, they are. There was a lot of romance, and a lot of characters, and a lot of diversity, and just a lot to take in. But it was an enjoyable read. Not one of my favorite first books in the series by Cassandra Clare, but definitely one of my favorites, but not like the top. That would be still Clockwork Angel. I know that's not what people choose usually, but I still really like that one. That was like my introduction into the world, and I really enjoyed that one. So yeah, and then maybe Lady Midnight, but then this one probably. So yeah, really enjoyable read. And obviously we have a whole year to wait now for the second book to come out. But before that, we're going to see the cover, hopefully. So yeah, the next one, it's another beautiful cover, and that is Crescent City, or The House of Earth and Blood. I'm not sure what the title is, by Sarah J. Maas. Which is the title? House of Earth and Blood, I think. And this is her adult debut, and it's a story. It's an urban fantasy, I think, and we follow this woman who is. I actually don't know much about this book. She likes to party, and then something happens and she gets slightly more serious, I guess. I completely clueless as to what this is about. People seem to enjoy it quite a lot, and I guess I will too, because I have enjoyed her previous books. So yeah, fingers crossed that I do get to enjoy it. And yeah, I'll get to it soon. Not sure. Hopefully, it's a chunker though, but it should be a fast read once you get into it. So yeah, as I said, gorgeous cover, and yeah, loving it. The next book that I got was a shorter one, a much shorter one, and then that is Come Tumbling Down by Shauna Maguire. So this is book 5 now, I think, in the Wayward Children series. I heard there's going to be 8 books altogether, or maybe more after that. But yeah, so I do enjoy most of these books. There were a few that I really wasn't a fan of, and this one might turn out to be one of those, because we follow Jack and Jill again, I think, which we followed in book 2, which is most people's favorite, but it's not mine, so I might struggle with this one. But we'll see once I get to it. I really enjoyed the first one and the fourth one. The second and third one not as much, but those other two I really did enjoy, so we'll see what happens in this one. It's, again, a short read, so it shouldn't be a problem to get through. I usually listen to these books, and yeah, once I get to it, well, sorry, I was just like a brain freeze for a second. Once I get to it, I will let you know how I feel about it. But what I meant to say also is that I haven't heard people talk about it, which is weird, because usually people do hype these books up. So next I have 3 books in a series that I have not even started, so it's ridiculous they got them, but they were so good priced on Book Depository that I had to get them. And those are books 2, 3, and 4 in the Faithful and the Fallen series by John Gwynne. So I already had Malice from before, and as I said, I never started these books even, so it's ridiculous to have the whole series now. But yeah, hopefully I will get to it. Not in the next few months, because I do want to finish some other series before then, but soon after that. I also checked if I could get audiobooks, and I'm not sure if that's going to be happening. But yeah, also fantasy books, have no clue what these are actually about, but in the next few months I hopefully will. So yeah, so those were all the books that I managed to acquire in the last few months. I have quite a few but obviously I also read quite a few of these, so I'm really happy about that, and I do plan to read some of them as well pretty soon, and some not that soon, but yeah. And you'll have to wait a bit for my next book haul, because I do not plan to have one soon. There are some books that I'm still waiting for, but you know, I will wait for a nice pile to happen, and then I'm gonna be filming one of these videos. So yeah, anyways, thank you for watching this video, and see you in my next one. Bye.